These are samples of some of the designs that are being worked on for launch. This is truly a subset of what's going on in the industry. There are many, many more machines that are being built that aren't here today, but I'm very grateful to our partners who have lent us some to show off here again to give a sample of what's going on. I have a variety of machines from the largest screen all-in-ones down to the smallest screen, thin and light devices and convertibles. I have multiple different types of chips on these devices, so we have some SoC, and we have obviously some of the higher power x86. So it's a variety of devices and machines, and I thought we'd just do a little tour. Some of them you've seen at the show, and some of them you haven't. I think in the all-in-one category, it's interesting because first off, we're getting some beautiful designs. You'll see the Samsung one in the center and this Asus. Both of these are new designs being worked on for Windows 8. Obviously, if you think about that Paint app that Aiden showed, on a screen this size, it would be truly incredible. Right? There's a lot of things you can do. You'll notice how the design lays out. You see more tiles by default on these larger screens. So very compelling, very beautiful systems. We had a nice demonstration on Monday of the new Acer device. This one's really cool. When we talk about hinge design, we normally think about the laptops. But hinges also apply to all of them. This one swivels. It goes from both horizontal to vertical. It lays down flat. You'll notice I have it in vertical mode where it's just a beautiful, in this case, reader. It's set up for a document that we can look at and the web and the news. So truly an innovative piece of hardware and software together that brings the best to life in terms of Windows 8. One more on the end. Again, that hinge design is a very interesting area, and it applies to all-in-ones. This Lenovo I have up. Obviously, I have it set for a game, but I can swipe it across and restart Mahjong. And again, that notion of, gosh, this supports 64-finger touch. Maybe I want to have multiple people playing. I pick Mahjong because I know several of my colleagues here enjoy. But I can take this one, and in the same way, I can lay it down flat, and now we can sit around this particular device and use it to play games. We could do some of the drawing and things that Aiden showed, but here we can play a multi-person game. So again, that form factor, that functionality with these large screen devices, plus the mechanics, create some very rich and compelling experiences. Now, let's shift into the laptops over here and some of the convertibles. I'm going to start with what I'll call the broad scale or the broad base of devices in that 13 to 15-inch category that are the high-volume sellers today. This is where, as an industry, we sell most of the PCs, right? 13 to 15-inch. What I have here is a variety of systems. Aiden talked about no compromise. These are all, keyboard and mouse. These are not touch systems. Some of them are new designs for Windows 8. But what it says is that broad scale area where we build devices today, there'll still be that same differentiation, that same opportunity for partners to create devices. And they'll be great with keyboard and mouse. You see a lot of the different vendors where they tend to differentiate HP, whether it's TPM technology or Beats Audio. Sony, I've got a couple of new BIOS that are under design here. These are from Sony. They do a great job with media. They do a great job with design. Here's a gaming laptop for Asus. That's, again, a high-end category. This is the XPS from Dell that we talked about. This is a carbon fiber design. This is, again, using the new materials. Toshiba, again, builds a PC here. This is the 800 series, which is used for both small business and consumer. Comes with TPM, full functionality, Acer here. This is a rather unique Toshiba. This is a 21 by 9 screen. So when you think about Snap and the ability to use the UI for that, I accidentally went into the other mode. Go back here. Went to desktop. This is a beautiful screen. If you think about a widescreen design, very unique, very good coming out. A couple of others here. Now, one I wanted to highlight real quick. I'm going to pull out this Acer. When we talk about innovation and design, this is one of the thin, light designs that are coming out now, these really thin ones. This one's quite unique because a lot of people still want the full ports, right? You want access. There's a button on the front here, and then I'm going to press this button. What you'll see in the back, if the camera will pick it up, is you'll actually see the ports mechanically come down, and now I have access to USB ports, an HDMI port, etc. So that's kind of a very cool way of solving the interesting problem of having the thin, light design, but also having access to ports, which a lot of users really appreciate. Now, let's start to switch gears. We can take these same class of device and start to add touch. So now we have the ability to take a variety of devices. Here's the Samsung series, where we have touch now integrated into the laptop form factor. Here's a beautiful one from Asus. We take that very thin and light ZenBook design, which we're all familiar with, and add a touch screen to it, so I have the best of both worlds. Right? So now we're starting to bring together that no compromise of touch, keyboard, and mouse, thin and light, beautiful design. I wanted to highlight one from Acer here, which I think does a really good job of starting with the components we talked about earlier. This is an incredibly thin, touchscreen, right? If you look at this, it's probably 2 millimeters. What they've done is they've used glass as the technology to provide the rigidity here on the screen. So it's thin and light, some of the glass that we showed earlier, combined with, again, great touch capability. The other thing, we talked about hinges, right? This is a design where it's very easy to move it up and down, yet when I get to the point that it's up, it's very rigid, so as I tap on it, it's easy to work with. And of course, if I want to, then I can lay it down flat. So incredible piece of innovation. It brings together the hinge design, the screen design, the components that allow for thin and light designs, plus touch, plus ultra-portable and battery life. Really, again, bringing all of the technologies together for a next-generation, truly no-compromise laptop. Now, the next area to think about is as we move on, there's a lot of discussion on tablets and things that we can do. And I'll start with convertibles, right? At CES this year, Lenovo showed off the Yoga, which if you think about the hinge design here, I can flip it all the way back. I can set it all the way up. I think I launched the browser there. So this is an example of sort of having the ability to translate or rotate a device around, and there's others in that family. The next level, though, is the notion of one that you can sort of, I'll say, take apart or put together, depending on how you look at it. The Samsung device, Aiden showed the Series 7 that we gave out at Build. This is sort of heading towards that next generation where you can, bring it up and work with it and have that as a separator one. I'm going to stick that one back. The Fujitsu is the same class of device. I really like these. This is very light, very thin, right? Actively running. It sets into the keyboard when you want to use it as a laptop. It looks like a laptop, but then I can take it out and use it. Now, in terms of concepts and designs, this one from Asus here, I'm going to have the button here. This one, now we're really getting, this is a core design, or a high-power design, but you'll notice how thin this design is. Super light, long battery life, very responsive. Now again, when we think about no compromise, this is a media tablet. I can take it with me, it runs all of my applications, it's very powerful and high-performing, and at the same time, I've got my dock keyboard. This particular setup is very clean, it takes that very thin and light look. Now you can take other approaches. This is an Acer design that was shown on Monday. And as opposed to having the sort of docking keyboard and mouse, this is set up more like a desktop, right? I can hook up a wireless keyboard and mouse to it. I can rotate it, vertically or horizontally. I have some differentiation in terms of the approach. Now, as we head towards the last three, now we're getting thinner and lighter. These are fanless designs. I'm going to take this Asus out to start with. This is a fanless design. It's very, very thin, very, very light. Right, beautiful screen. This has the ability for inking, so I can take advantage of that stylus work that we saw earlier. This can have a TPM in it for commercial use. The keyboard and sort of the place that I set it back into, that has an extra battery in it. So not only do I get long life from here, but I get a long life or additional long life when I hook it into the battery. So this is sort of again heading down that no compromise setup. I'm actually going to lay this here so I don't have it on this plastic stand and put it back. Beautiful design, it's still running. That is sort of the direction that we're heading in. This is another one from Acer where I can run it, I can pull it out, I can flip it over in clamshell, or I can run it in sort of a presentation mode. So again, we had the Windows 8 here fanless, we have another one fanless. I'm going to take one more. This is the last Asus design. And this is a 10.2, so it's even smaller. This is about 500 grams, so extremely lightweight, extremely thin, beautiful screen, right? This one is an RT device. This is Windows RT running on this particular device. Again, you'll notice it's incredibly light, right? And so now, again, I'm sort of having that capability of thin, light, all-day battery life. All four of these are all-day battery life types of designs. So if we think about where we started, we started with an all-in-one design, right, at the very largest end. We come all the way down through a set of laptops, a traditional 13, 14, 15-inch laptops. We've gone to a set of convertibles. We have sort of high-power designs in the tablet mode that have all the ports. We've gone down to the thinnest and lightest weight, no fans, right, long all-day battery life. So as Aiden talked about no compromise, I think we're blending no compromise software with no compromise hardware. And our partners are doing a phenomenal job in terms of the innovation in the industry. From the chip design to the hinge design, from the glass to the mechanics, all aspects of the PC are being reimagined. This is an incredible time as a result for our industry. We have sort of the most momentum we've ever had with Windows 7 in terms of a release. And as we head into Windows 8, the ecosystem is coming together to deliver solutions the kind of which we've never seen before, and the likes of which are truly no compromise and really are delivering a Windows reimagined world. So, as we head through this, one question I quite often get is, Windows 8 hasn't shipped yet. We still have a lot of Windows 7 PCs to provide. One of the things we work on always is to have an upgrade path for our Windows 7 users. People that are purchasing machines today, they want to know they can get there. We've created a very easy way for customers to get Windows 8 when it ships. Anyone that buys a machine from June 2nd or last Friday, all the way through January, has the opportunity to basically get a low-cost copy, it's like $14.99 in the US, copy of Windows 8 that they can use to upgrade their PC. That way customers can be confident today that they can buy a version of Windows PC, and there are a lot of them out there. Aiden talked about the testing we're doing, and know that they have the opportunity to upgrade it to Windows 8, and in that way we're going to help keep the market moving forward. So not only do we want to sort of continue to prepare for Windows 8 to do a good job, but we want to continue to make sure as an industry we keep the business moving forward between now and when Windows 8 ships. And so with that piece of work, I think we're getting good feedback, and that's another way we're making it seamless for the industry and for our end users. I would say this is an ecosystem readiness event. Computex is a phenomenal venue. It's a phenomenal place. I truly want to thank the Taiwan Computing Association and all of our partners. This is the place where it all comes together. We see the very best from the hardware side, from the software side, from all of the parts of the industry coming together to deliver the solutions that our collective customers are looking for. Windows 8 Embedded, we're on path. You saw the CTP release today. Windows 8 Server, we have the fast track work that we're doing with our partners. Windows Phone and the application marketplace there continues to grow. And then both Windows 7 designs, which we're still seeing great innovation there, and the next generation Windows 8 designs. Again, I showed a small sampling today. There are many more under development, but I hope you can see and get a sense for, I think as an ecosystem, we're getting ready. We're doing a great job. Aiden, I thought, did a great job showing off the product. I think the hardware that we've been lent by our partners does a great job showing off the hardware. Aiden talked about all the tools available for systems, for peripherals, and for developers to help us get ready. This is a journey. It's a partnership. I'm very, again, pleased and honored to represent our company working with everyone else here. If you want to see more, if you want to see a Windows 8 demo again, if you want to see some of the embedded devices and scenarios or some of the other solutions, we have a booth. So come see us at the Microsoft booth in the Nanjing Hall. And otherwise, again, a true thank you. This is an industry effort. We appreciate the partnership and support from the Taiwan community, from all our global partners. This is a great venue to have this conversation, so we appreciate your time. I want to thank everyone and say have a great day, and a special thanks to all of our partners that are here. Thank you so much.
Okay, the show is already over. And
各位
if you
贵
want
宾，
to
感谢您参
visit
与
the
微软
Microsoft
专
booth,
题
you
演讲。
can go to the
请
non
留
comprehensive
步，
exhibition
我们即将进
hall
行我们这一次大会的抽奖活动。
more details about the
我们将会有7大奖项
in the next
，Nokia
bye-bye.
610 HG